In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth and everything within them. Among his creations was a man named Jacob, also called Israel, who lived in the land of Canaan. Jacob had 12 sons, but one of his most beloved sons was Joseph, the son of Rachel, whom Jacob loved dearly. Rachel was Jacob's favorite wife, and her son Joseph was cherished above the others. Because of this special love, Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful coat of many colors, a symbol of his favoritism. Joseph was a young man full of dreams and visions. One day, he had a remarkable dream in which he saw himself and his brothers in a field. In the dream, Joseph's sheaf of wheat stood upright, and the sheaves of his brothers bowed down to it. Joseph shared this dream with his brothers, and they became jealous and angry. Later, Joseph had another dream, this time involving the sun, the moon, and 11 stars, all bowing down to him. When he told his family about these dreams, Jacob rebuked him, feeling troubled by the idea that his son would one day be greater than his family. The jealousy of Joseph's brothers grew stronger. They hated him because of his dreams and because of their father's favoritism. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers who were tending their flocks in the fields. When Joseph arrived, his brothers saw him coming from afar and conspired to get rid of him. They initially plotted to kill him, but Reuben, the eldest, suggested they throw Joseph into a pit instead, intending to rescue him later. However, as Joseph approached, the brothers seized the opportunity and sold him to a caravan of Ishmaelite traders passing by. The traders took Joseph to Egypt, where he was sold as a slave. To deceive their father, the brothers stained Joseph's coat with blood and told Jacob that a wild animal had attacked and killed him. Jacob mourned deeply, believing his beloved son was gone forever. In Egypt, Joseph was bought by Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh and captain of the guard. Joseph was faithful and diligent in his work, and soon Potiphar saw that Joseph was trustworthy. Because of his integrity and hard work, Joseph was promoted to oversee Potiphar's entire household. But troubles soon followed. Potiphar's wife falsely accused Joseph of trying to seduce her when he refused her advances. Despite his innocence, Joseph was thrown into prison. Even in prison, Joseph remained faithful to God. He did not despair but instead trusted that God had a purpose for his life. The prison warden saw Joseph's honesty and leadership qualities and put him in charge of the prisoners. It was during this time that Joseph's gift of interpreting dreams became evident. 2 prisoners, Pharaoh's cupbearer and baker, were troubled by dreams they could not understand. Joseph listened carefully and, with God's help, interpreted their dreams. He told the cupbearer that he would be restored to his position in 3 days, and it happened just as Joseph said. He also told the baker that he would be executed, which was fulfilled. Joseph asked the cupbearer to remember him when he returned to Pharaoh's court, but the cupbearer forgot about Joseph for 2 years. Eventually, Pharaoh himself had troubling dreams that none of his wise men could interpret. The cupbearer remembered Joseph and told Pharaoh about his gift. Pharaoh summoned Joseph, who humbly acknowledged that only God could interpret dreams. God revealed to Joseph that the dreams indicated 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of severe famine. Joseph advised Pharaoh to appoint a wise man to store grain during the years of abundance so that Egypt would be prepared for the famine. Impressed by Joseph's wisdom, Pharaoh appointed him as governor of Egypt, second only to himself. He gave Joseph the name Zaphnath-Paaneah, meaning savior of the land, and clothed him in fine robes. Joseph was now a powerful leader tasked with managing Egypt's food supplies. Joseph married Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, a priest of On. They had 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. Manasseh's name meant God has made me forget all my hardship, reflecting Joseph's journey from suffering to prosperity. Ephraim's name signified God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction, highlighting how God turned Joseph's adversity into blessing. Years passed, and the famine spread beyond Egypt into Canaan. Jacob sent his sons to Egypt to buy grain. When they arrived in Egypt, they stood before the governor, unbeknownst to them, Joseph himself. They bowed down before him, fulfilling Joseph's earlier dreams. Joseph recognized his brothers but kept his identity hidden. He tested their honesty and their hearts by accusing them of being spies and demanding that they bring their youngest brother, Benjamin, to prove their sincerity. Jacob was afraid to send Benjamin, but the famine pressed heavily upon them. Eventually, the brothers returned to Egypt with Benjamin, and Joseph's heart was moved when he saw his youngest brother. He prepared a feast for his brothers and was overcome with emotion. During the meal, Joseph excused himself, weeping privately. Then he revealed his true identity: "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into slavery in Egypt." His brothers were stunned and afraid, ashamed of their past betrayal. Joseph reassured them, saying, "Do not be distressed or angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you." He forgave them and explained that God had used their evil actions to bring about a greater good, saving many lives during the famine. Joseph instructed his brothers to hurry back to Canaan and bring their father Jacob to Egypt. When Jacob heard that Joseph was alive and was ruler over Egypt, he was overwhelmed with joy and disbelief. Despite his years of grief, he believed the message and prepared to go to Egypt to reunite with Joseph. The entire family journeyed to Egypt, and Joseph warmly welcomed his father. They embraced and wept together, finally reunited after many years of separation. Jacob was filled with gratitude and awe at God's divine plan. He saw that Joseph was alive and had become a mighty ruler, fulfilling God's promises. Joseph made arrangements for his family to settle in the land of Goshen, a fertile region in Egypt. He provided for their needs and ensured they were safe from the ongoing famine. The family thrived under Joseph's care, and their descendants grew into a great nation. This story of Joseph teaches us many profound lessons. His unwavering faith in God, his integrity, and his ability to forgive even those who wronged him show us the importance of trusting God's divine plan. Despite suffering betrayal, false accusations, and hardship, Joseph remained faithful, knowing that God was with him. His story reminds us that God can turn even the darkest trials into opportunities for His glory and our blessing. As we reflect on Joseph's journey, remember that no matter how difficult life may seem, God's plan is always at work. Trust in Him, stay faithful, and forgive others as Joseph did. Just as God elevated Joseph from slavery to prominence, He can do the same in our lives when we trust in His divine providence. Thank you for joining us in exploring this inspiring biblical story. If you found this story meaningful, please like, comment, and share with your friends and family. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of faith and hope, and click the notification bell to stay updated. Share your thoughts below and let us know what this story means to you personally. Remember, with God's help, we can overcome every challenge and walk in His divine purpose. Keep trusting in the Lord, and until next time, may His peace be with you.